Good afternoon. Welcome to Grade 12 English First Additional Language. Today we are going to continue with a series of language lessons that are applicable for Grade 11 and Grade 12. Today we are specifically going to look at advertising, how to analyze an advertisement, what to look out for, how to link the words with the picture, and how it will be asked in a test or an exam. So what is advertising? Now, advertising can be seen as a paid form of non-personal communication from an identified sponsor using mass media to persuade or influence audience with a unique message. All right, so it promotes a product usually by emotive and persuasive means. In short, somebody is using techniques to make you want to buy the product. All right. Now, advertisements attract people's attention by using a layout and colors which draw attention to specific words. Now, layout is where the words are printed on the advertisement, the way it's printed. Is it printed in bold? Is it in another color to draw your attention? Now, being amusing or clever, humor is a very, very clever technique to draw attention. People remember an advertisement if it's a funny advertisement, all right? It's featuring attractive or interesting people and places, people that you look up to, maybe a famous rugby player or a beautiful model, and places where everyone wants to go. All right, using catchy slogans and phrases, for example, Betty's buns are better. And then promoting a bargain, which in all cases, and specifically in South Africa, it works like a charm: buy one, get one free, or for today only, or limited stock available. All right, or buy one and get one free, or buy three and only pay for two, something like that, right? Promoting a bargain. So that is how the advertisement attract people's attention. Now, when you study advertisements, think about when you see the advertisement in front of you. Number one, what is being advertised? What is the product? And how do I know it? Is there a picture? Is there a picture of the product? Is the name printed in bold and big? So what is being advertised? That's the first thing you need to determine when you look at an advertisement. Who is likely to be interested in, or who would like to buy this product? We call that our target audience. So is it children or teenagers or housewives or business people? So who is likely to be interested in this product? How do the designers of the advertisement try to make the product appealing? All right, what do they use? Do they use a beautiful woman to advertise this? Do they use a warm setting if it's for a restaurant? How do the designers try to make the product appealing? Appealing means I would want to go out and buy that. I want that product for myself. So what do they do to create that feeling? And then what is the meaning of the words they use? What is the meaning of the words and why do they use these words? And that has a lot to do with your target audience, the words and the type of language that they use to appeal to that specific target audience. And then what does the picture, the drawing or the photograph show, and why has this picture been chosen? Right, so again, does it fit with the advertising of that specific product? And if I had the money, would I buy this product? Why or why not? Because that is the eventual and the main goal of an advertisement, is to persuade everyone to buy that product. Sometimes even if you don't need that product and you still go out and buy it, then it's a marvelous advertisement. Right now, a theory that determines what a good advertisement should be like and what a good advertisement should contain is the IDA principle. Now, first of all, the A is for attract attention. So it has to grab the attention of the buyer. You have to look twice. All right. When you see the advertisement, you can't just page past it in the magazine. You stop and you look twice. It attracts attention. Then interest the audience. So it sustains the consumer's interest. So you started to read and you looked at it and you continue. You want to find out what exactly this is about. Then the desire, appeal to a desire. It must create a desire to possess the advertised product. I want that product. All right. And then get the audience to go into action of buying. So it has to spur the buyer into action. Get off the couch, go to the shop and buy that specific product. All right, so when we work with advertisements, we are going to look at the heading. We're going to look at the logo. Those are the words that is associated with that specific product. We're going to look at that now. Then the slogan. The logo is the picture and the slogan are the words, and then the copy are the words, the information about that product, and then the visuals are the pictures or the photographs about the product in the advertisement. So more in detail, the terms related to the advertisement is the slogan. Slogan is words that are linked to a product and that are easy to remember. So immediately if you hear those words, you think of that product. So if I say finger licking good, you immediately think KFC. If I say I'm loving it, you would think McDonald's. If I say just do it, you would think Nike. So the slogan that is associated and linked to a specific product. Then the logo is the visual design or the picture, and it's sometimes including letters, words, or symbols that is the official sign of a company or an organization. For example, the Nike tick or the big yellow M that represents McDonald's. And then the font is the style and the shape of printed letters, often especially chosen for emphasis in advertisements or cartoons. And then your target market that we've mentioned now just is the type of people an advertisement wants to attract. For example, fashionable young people, wealthy business people. Now your advertisement, your target market, you must make very sure if it's, for instance, don't make the mistake of saying that if it's for dog food, your target market is are dogs, it is pet owners. If it is for nappies, it's not babies, it is parents, etc. So make very sure about your target market when you answer that question. Then the layout, it's the way the advertisement is set out on the page so that certain words and pictures attract attention. The language use, the choice of words and ways of saying things. For example, the use of slang to sell jeans to young buyers, formal language used to sell banking services to business people, dramatic language used to sell adventure equipment, repetition used to make the reader remember the message. Now, this is the same as the copy. It represents the words that they use in the advertisement. Obviously, there will be figures of speech, the use of a metaphor or a simile or hyperbole, which is over-exaggeration, onomatopoeia, puns, personification, alliteration. For example, here's a hyperbole and alliteration, and according to me, a pun used together. Betty bakes the best buns in the world. Right, to grab your attention immediately. Okay, then sound devices, words chosen for the effect of their sounds. For example, this one is onomatopoeia and alliteration of the S used together. Shush, Baby's sleeping. It's time for a soothing sip of rooibos tea. All right, so it's clever use of figures of speech and sound devices to emphasize certain things that the advertisement wants you to notice. Here we have the slogans I spoke about. Those are the words that are specifically associated with a certain product. If I say think different, you immediately think of Apple. Just do it would be Nike. It's finger licking good. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm loving it. Is McDonald's. America runs on Dunkin'. It's Dunkin' Donuts. And then because you're worth it is associated with L'Oreal, and open happiness is associated with Coca-Cola. So you needn't say anything else. These slogans are immediately associated with these different products. The same with these logos. There's a logo of Starbucks. You don't have to say anything. Everyone knows that's Starbucks. The same with the M for McDonald's, the tick for the Nike, and the Apple for Apple products. And then Pepsi, Google, Adidas, FedEx, and BBC is the same. So the previous one was the slogans, and these are the logos that we are talking about. Right, I'm going to show you a series of advertisements and the clever way they used either the pictures or the words, whatever the case might be, in the following advertisements. If you look on the one in front of you on the screen, you'll see there's not a lot of words. So in other words, it's not a lot of copy in there. There's a little small picture of Dettol hand sanitizer. There's one question really, whose hand are you holding? So the emphasis is on the visual part of this advertisement, namely the picture there of the woman standing in a bus holding on to a hand where it's supposed to be the railing that she's supposed to hang on to prevent her from falling over. And the question is just, whose hand are you holding? So immediately it makes you think on, all right, where I'm holding on right now, where did somebody else touch, and how clean were their hands, etc. So this is a very effective advertisement to almost shock you into realizing what can be possible. And I think it's very effective to make someone immediately think twice and buy hand sanitizer every time, especially in the times we are living today. Right, so there it is. Whose hand are you holding? Then here's even less words for strong dogs and the name of the product, Pedigree. So again, you need to focus on the picture. This dog is trying to bury its bone, but he is making a hole in a tar road. So it gives the implication that it's a really strong dog. And the food is only for strong dogs like these. And in order for your dog to become this strong, give him Pedigree. It's for strong dogs. So your dog will become as strong as this one. So very effective. And they are using a bit of humor here as well. Right, remember, humor is always working and makes you remember an advertisement. Then yes, humor as well. Need to lose a little weight before your wedding. Now, traditionally on top of the wedding cake, it's the little bride and groom standing there. But you can see in this case, the little bride got too heavy and she fell through the cake. So again, first of all, they use humor here. The little groom is trying to get her out, and they are advertising this, especially, you know, a bride wants to look her best on her wedding day, and they are using this, need to lose a little weight before your wedding, slim fast, and it's very effective. The message is more into the picture as it is into words, but the words and the picture fits together very nicely. Right, and then sometimes there are no headlines needed. All right, no headlines. The visuals explain the whole meaning. So the visuals already create a big enough impact. The previous advertisements that we looked at had the headlines. So we saw either a question or the names or etc. So, and the advertisers want you now to only focus on the visuals. And these visuals include the scenery, background, pictures, the models, and the logo. So let's look at the following ones. Right. There's no visual, no headlines in this one. There's only the picture of Starbucks that you can make out. And then the words are formed in the form of a coffee cup, all right, with the foam on top. And all of those words: be blissful, invite conversation, sit and chat, gather round, find old friends, reach out. The other cup: fulfill hearts, find meaning, exchange stories, warm up, make the time, reconnect. Now, this is an excellent ad for Starbucks, where they create the impression that if you drink the Starbucks coffee, those words, that is how you will feel. That's the expectation they create. So without saying anything else, you know what the product is, you know what it will bring, and you want to buy that. All right, because everyone wants to be blissful. Everyone wants to sit and chat, gather around. Everyone wants to find old friends. So this is an extremely clever technique that the advertiser used to bring across a certain message without a page full of words that will bore you. This is short and sweet and very, very effective. Right. The next one, there's no words, only at the right-hand bottom is the Adidas sign with the word, so you know what the product is. And then if you look at the advertisement, you must make your own deduction where you can see wearing Adidas is making him so fast that not even his shadow can catch him. All right, so that is the only message, and very successful, that this advertisers wanted to bring across to the reader of this advertisement. And this is one of my favorite. This is the insect repellent Raid, and there's no words. You can only see the arm of Spider-Man lying there lifeless. So the message it gives you here is that this insect repellent is so strong that it can even kill Spider-Man. Right, so what is to say about the small little spiders and roaches in your house? So this is very effective without any copy or headlines in this advertisement. It's only a small picture of this product, and then this message is very clearly brought across by the advertiser. All right, then we go over to perspective. Now, you always have to look at advertisement from different perspectives. You may not find an advertisement funny, but if asked to explain or identify the comical aspect of the advertisement, you have to look at it from another point of view. So you can't just say, I do not find it funny. Right? So if they ask you, why is this advertisement funny? And you say, I don't find it funny, you're not going to get any marks. So then you have to change your perspective. Look at it from another way. All right. So it's important to study the advertisement. Make sure you notice all the details before making a conclusion. If we look at the following advertisement, right, at first it's difficult to understand, but this is about sheer stockings. Now, it is so sheer that usually a robber pulls a stocking over his face and head to conceal his identity. But these stockings are so sheer that you can see right through it. All right, so the funny part about it is he's totally unsuccessful in concealing his identity, and it just shows you how perfect this product is if it is used for the correct way that it was made for. So he was a very unsuccessful robber, but the product is very successful, seeing that it is really, the stockings are so sheer you won't even see that someone is wearing it. Right, and this next one, you have to look at it very carefully. It is obviously an advertisement from BMW manufacturers, the car BMW. Now look at the copy, the words. Congratulations to Audi for winning South African Car of the Year 2006. From the winner of World Car of the Year 2006. So BMW is actually dissing Audi without being straightforward, okay, because that would not be ethical. So he is masking an insult within a compliment. So congratulations to Audi for winning South African Car of the Year. That's your keyword. From the winner of World Car of the Year. So BMW is actually saying, we are so much better than you. You're only from the winner of the South African category. We are the winner of the world category. All right, because he's dissing him or dissing Audi without doing it straightforward. That's not ethical. So it is disguised within a compliment, which is very, very clever advertising right here. Now we're going to look at an actual advertisement and questions and answers that you might get in an exam or a test. And can you believe it? There's already advertisements and comic strips on the coronavirus. So obviously we chose this one. What measures have been put in place in South Africa? Right, that is obviously your headline, to minimize the risk of transmission. And then you will see in the green circles, there are information and there are pictures accompanying all that information. So temperature and fever screening is in place at international airports, right? And then if there is a suspected case, procedures are in place for case isolation and management. Specimen collection and transport will follow so that diagnosis can be made quickly, and accompanying pictures. And then suspected cases will be managed at designated hospitals with isolation facilities. And then protocols are in place for follow-up of case contacts to ensure that the virus does not spread, and with visuals again with it. And then it looks like the Department of Health was responsible for this advertisement with a toll-free number at the bottom, obviously. Let's have a look at the questions. What do you think is the purpose of this advertisement? So why was this advertisement set up? For 2 marks, to inform people, first of all, your first mark, of the measures the government has put into place to minimize the risk of infection or transmission of the coronavirus. If you look at the advertisement, again, it tells you what measures have been put in place. So first of all, it's to inform us about the measures that have been put in place for what? To minimize the risk of transmission of what? The coronavirus. All right. Then number 2, what does the advertiser mean when he refers to minimize the risk of transmission? So he's referring to lowering the rate, lowering the rate at which the coronavirus is being passed on to other people. So minimize the risk of transmission is to lowering the rate at which the coronavirus is being passed on to other people. Please remember, when you answer the advertisement questions, you have to answer in full sentences and always in your own words unless you're asked to quote. Also take careful note of the mark allocation, because that will determine the length of your answer. Right. Then, who is the advertiser? Again, you go back to the advertisement, and I told you there at the bottom left hand, it is the Department of Health that created this advertisement to make everyone aware of the measures that have been put in place in South Africa. Then, in your own words, very important, it says explicitly in the question, in your own words, I indicate what the measures are that are referred to in the label of the advertisement. So what are the measures? Now, if we go back to the advertisement, there it tells you, look at that green blocks, right? So you answer it. People's temperature are being taken at international airports to see if they have a fever. People suspected of having been infected are isolated and tested, and these infected people are monitored to ensure that they do not infect other people. Right, make very sure enough information. For 3 marks, you needed to give me 3 things, all right, 3 measures, and that is clearly in the advertisement. You just have to read it very carefully. Then number 5, explain how the visual aspects of this advertisement support the body copy of the advertisement. They will always ask you a question like this. It's about the visual aspects. Immediately, visual means picture. Support the body copy means the words. So how does the two support each other? In other words, how does the picture fit with the words? All right, so the advertiser explained the measures that has been put in place in 3 different paragraphs, of which each one of them have been put in a dark green circle. The measures have also been supported with pictures representing the words in the 3 circles. So it is said here, so there's about the temperature and the fever, and there's the picture that fits with it on its left-hand side. And then your second paragraph is the middle circle and the woman that looks quite sick next to it. All right. And then the protocols that are in place is with the ambulance and etc., etc. Right. So, or you could have said the numerous drawings of what the coronavirus looks like support the idea of the virus they are fighting against. So now you can look around and you'll see those yellow little spots are supposed to represent the coronavirus, and it is said that that can also be correct. Right, and then number 6, do you regard this as a successful advertisement or not? This will always be in the questions. It will either be, do you regard it as a successful advertisement, or do you think that it was funny or comical, or do you think the message was funny or comical, or etc., etc. And again, this is where your perspective comes in. All right, so you have to look at it from a different perspective. So, but this is a yes or no answer. You are allowed to say yes and no. In other words, give a combination answer. Just make very sure that your motivation fits with your answer. If it's yes, you must give a yes motivation. No, the same if it's combination. Give both, but make very sure that the yes and the no doesn't get confused. Right, so if you said, yes, I regard this as a successful advertisement, remember, you must make your opinion clear. First of all, you must say, this is my opinion. Yes, I agree, or no, I don't agree. That the marker can immediately see what your point of view is. So this one says, yes, it provides the reader with information about the 3 measures that the government is taking to stop the spread of the coronavirus. The advertisement is visually attractive. The important words to explain the purpose of the advertisement are put in green and therefore highlighted. Right, so very important. You tell the answer tells us about the information about the three measures. All right. Then we're talking about the visuals, the important words, etc., etc. If you said no, the advertisement does not even mention the name coronavirus. So if someone is not aware of the existence of the virus, they will not understand the advertisement at all. Let's go back. Right, what measures have been put in place in South Africa? It is correct. There is not one mentioning of the words coronavirus in this advertisement. So either yes or no. Remember, you do not get a mark for the word yes or no. You only get your marks for the motivation. Make sure your motivation always refer back to the text. It must be text-based at all times. Right. So that concludes our lesson about advertising. I really hope that it helped you and that there are more clarity about how to analyze an advertisement and what to look out for and how to answer the questions. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow again. Please stay safe, make wise choices, and have a wonderful afternoon. Goodbye.